Alright, so I'm doing a look into the Ultimate Big Chap. The only reason I feel like I need to do this is because Alien is definitely one of my favorite movies, and it is pretty much what got me into collecting, particularly NECA figures. It all started with this guy. I got him two for the price of one sale at Things from Another World, I think. And it's been in my collection for more than 10 years. I opened it and I taped it together just to keep it in its packaging, but yep, this is the first one they did. I had this one and the Warrior, the Xenomorph Warrior from Aliens as well. Alright, let's go. To compare, I'll have the Big Chap from the 35th. Oop. And let me go ahead and get this guy opened up. And we're back. So one of the reasons I decided to move on to this guy, it's because of the awesome sculpts on the accessories and these babies. Double jointed elbows. So we can finally have him do his cross chest pose. I mean, I'm hoping, right? Okay, so he finally will have the ability to cross his arms over his chest. Given that I loosened this up with a little bit of heat, and we should have the resting pose, right? It's awesome. That was an issue with this guy. He had just a single joint, go as far as here, and that's it. So this guy can really bend way further, as you can see. Another thing is this guy has bicep swivel, which is cool, and this guy doesn't. It's kind of a bummer. It's more just lower arm rotation. It goes in and out. The typical articulation of the previous release, same tail, tubing in the back. The major upgrade for this version is the teeth. So this guy comes with nice shiny teeth, right? I mean, they look great. The problem was in the original 35th anniversary, he did not have totally exposed teeth. Mine does, however, because I did a transplant. He went to the dentist and I changed the teeth. I, cut them off completely and then put these new teeth in. That way he had a better jaw exposure. I believe the Walmart single pack, the one with the clear box, came with better teeth, but the 35th one clamshell packaging was not all that great, so I had to do the transplant myself to make it look better. So we have the same standard articulation. The dome is completely different as well. This one has a clear dome. I wish you could see a little bit more of the eyes as the packaging advertises, but I mean, what can you do? It's still a great look for it, especially in dark lighting. This guy, however, came with a foggier dome, which, I don't know, I guess you would benefit of having both depending on the lighting you want to use or your display. I do appreciate both the milky and the clear dome. So I'm glad to have both, I think the legs, do it stand the same? I think they do. Yeah, they're pretty much the same thing. Even the paint scheme is completely different. This guy's toes are more darker color. They're not exactly It's more like silver like this one. So the claws definitely are less noticeable. But man, that double elbow articulation is what sold me on it. I had to have it. Double elbow articulation for sure. Now, since there's not much to say besides that on the figure, the dome, the articulation, the lack of bicep swivel, everything else is pretty much the same. The paint deco, this one's a little bit browner, has more shading, a more dull paint. As you can see, there's not that gloss on the ribs. And this one's super glossy all around. So definitely beneficial to have both to compare and display. Now onto the egg. This is what we have. An awesome base with the underneath, the base of the egg. The egg is pretty awesome. It's huge. I love, the base itself. Like, makes it great to add into your background. Now, what we've had previous offerings have been smaller egg that came from the Aliens creature pack, and then subsequent releases on the egg cases, including the glow in the dark. And then for a size comparison, you have a much larger egg for the Big Chap 40th. So this works well, just on its own. Pretty intimidating egg. Now on to the face hugger. This is the one we get this time around. So you can see the interior design. Right, same posable bendy wire. The legs are a little different. So now comparing to the previous one, the Aliens one. So as you can see, they're pretty different, right? And I was really sold on getting it for that small variation, but it's a big difference. I feel like this is a little bit more accurate to the Alien face hugger. For length, pretty much similar length, just this one's a little bit bigger. Sorry, this one's a little bit bigger. Chest burster, this is the one we get. Adorable little fellow. See the little teeth. And the little arms too. This one also has, I believe, with bendy wire, the holes there. I don't really like bending them too much, just static display is fine. Now to compare to the previous release of the chest burster from the Aliens creature pack. So the creature pack, this is the new Alien one, so you can see the differences there. Right, definitely a little bulkier, but it just gives that, reminds me of the image of the movie, like it's a sizable chest burster coming out of Kane. And then you have the AVP one, AVPR, sorry, the AVPR release. It's huge, although it has nice teeth, but this one's a little bit more reminiscent of the movie itself, the Alien one. I forgot to mention, actually, compare. This is the AVPR face hugger, the Alien one, and going back to the Aliens creature pack. So they've pretty much kind of evolved, and NECA's done a great job at that. You start with smaller face huggers. They borrow from the sculpt a little bit, and then a completely different face hugger sculpt. But yeah, that's it. I definitely recommend it. I had my thoughts for getting the bloody version coming out in another series, but for a couple more dollars you get the egg, the chest burster, the face hugger, the double joint elbow, a different dome on the Big Chap look, that awesome egg base, and then the strange backdrop, which reminds me more of Aliens 3 than Alien, unless you're counting the Dallas scene where he's in the director's cut, you know, when Ripley finds him. But yeah, definitely worth the purchase, especially if you have this guy. Get this guy. You have them side by side, different lighting, and adjust accordingly. They're both great. That double elbow articulation will definitely come in handy. This guy, the bicep swivel, comes handy. The foggy dome. This one, the double joint elbow, comes in handy. The translucent dome. Oop. And they stand up pretty well. I mean, you can see they're both standing up. Well, the first one's standing up with his tail support, but then the second one balances out pretty well. And hopefully I can get this guy out of the packaging. But I think I'll just let him rest. Hopefully you liked the video. Thank you, and we'll see you another day.